Welcome to another episode of the Visible Man Podcast. I'm Kelechi J. Bonet, your host. And today we're talking about genocide. Does anyone have the right to commit genocide? Now, let me put that in the sense that I'm talking about governments. Of course, when it comes to genocide, no one individual in and of himself can commit genocide. It takes others also to engage in such a thing. Now, to understand what genocide is, as the definition, genocide is defined as the deliberate and systematic destruction of a group of people because of their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or more. So let me say this. Your life is important to you. My life is important to me. When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, of course you see your life as being important. And when I look in the mirror and I see myself, I see my life as being important. However, that does not mean that my life nor your life is important to others. And that's what we have to understand when it comes to talking about genocide. Because in order for someone to rationalize systematically destroying a group of people based on their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race, they have to see these people in such a way that they don't see themselves. So although they may see their lives as being important, they might not see other people's lives as important. Now, in all of this, what I'm talking about and who am I talking about? I'm talking about the current situation that is happening in Gaza. The Palestinian people have for decades been experiencing systematic genocide. And there were people that will look at me and say, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Because the situation between Israel and the Palestinian people, they would say to me, have been going on for centuries. However, what they're not saying is how did they get to where they are now, in the sense of 8,000 plus people in Gaza have been murdered. Well, I believe we can look at 1948. And in 1948, these are the things that happened.
On May 14, 1948, in Tel Aviv, Jewish Agency Chairman David Ben-Gurion proclaims the State of Israel. In that same year, 1948, approximately 800,000 Palestinians were driven from their home and land.
Now, to understand this, since 1952, Israel have been receiving billions of dollars from the American government. And here we are in 2023. So, in 2023, President Biden proposed $14.3 billion to be sent to Israel. Now, that also would include, in the span of 75 years, the total amount that would have been sent with this $14 billion is $130 billion sent to Israel. Now, you may say, well, you shouldn't be concerned about money being sent out of this country. Well, I'm a taxpaying American, or I'm a taxpayer, just like you are. So therefore, since I'm a taxpayer and you're a taxpayer, that means the money that you've paid in taxes, a large percentage of the people's taxes are being sent out of this country into another country. So again, we want to put all these things in perspective when it comes to, again, talking about genocide and how did the world basically get to where we are right now, where the Palestinian people are suffering from an oppressive government that's been there since either 1945 or 1948. Because according to history, the Palestinian people were the ones living in that area way before the people that are there now were there. And I would say for you, I encourage you to read, to do research in finding out this one word, Zionism and Zionists. Because I don't have the time and space to go into a conversation or talk about how the people who are occupying Israel, how they got there. So instead of believing or saying, well, and what you're saying is gospel, research for yourself so that you will know the truth, because that's what it's all about. Now, when it comes to you as an individual, I as an individual, and what's happening in our world, I would say the rational thinking person that has compassion would say, Israel, you should stop what you're doing. So with that in mind, we also have to understand when it comes to the ceasefire or the idea of ceasefire, that there were several countries that voted for there to be a ceasefire. Now, since we're living in America, I'm only going to talk about America as in voting against there being a ceasefire. Why would the country that you and I live in and our government vote against a ceasefire regarding Israel and what they're doing to the Palestinians? Maybe it's because they don't see that what they're doing to the Palestinians. Instead, they're throwing up this word, Hamas, Hamas. Now, I'm not saying Hamas is not real. However, I am saying what is happening to the Palestinian people is as real as you and I that are alive right here at this very moment. And I can't, as a Christian, and I'm even going further there, as a Christian, I cannot unequivocally, I cannot, as a Christian, agree to what's happening by the hands of Israel. And I would say that for any country. I can't agree with a country that's dropping bombs on the citizens of another country or even in another area. I cannot endorse that. And for anyone to say, hey, it's okay, then something is seriously wrong with you. Now, I'm reminded of an American politician who said, and I quote, Palestine is about to be eviscerated. To turn that into a parking lot. This is what an American official has said regarding Israel and dropping bombs on the Palestinian people. And what that says about this person is he has no regard for life. Well, let me rephrase that. He has no regard for the lives of the Palestinian people. That he believes, at least I think, he believes that what Israel is doing in Palestine is okay. But what he is not saying, and I'm not saying he doesn't know these things, is what Israel has been doing to the Palestinian people. It didn't start on October the 7th. It has existed for over 50 years. Let's just say 75 years. Because that's how long we as a country have been sending money to Israel as a country. So again, put that in perspective. If we are sending 75 years, we've been sending billions of dollars to Israel. What have Israel been using that money for? Well, the Palestinian people can tell you, and as living examples of how American funds sent to Israel have been used in killing their people. Wait a minute. Are you serious, sir? Yes. The Palestinian people, which are about 2.3 million people that live in Gaza, here's how they've been living. And I want to call that apartheid. Because these people are very restricted. They are restricted in such a way that Israel determines the Palestinian people getting fresh water, electricity, food, medicine. So the Israel government is controlling everything regarding the Palestinian people and the movement of the Palestinian people, even to the point that the house that the Palestinian people live in, an Israeli can go in and pretty much just take it. Yes, literally take it. And as I say take it, that's exactly what has been happening for over 75 years, is these people that have moved into Israel have taken land from people that were there thousands of years, possibly, before they arrived. Now, that actually puts me in mind of what happened to the indigenous people on the continent or here in North America, the native people. How when white Europeans came here and saw a great and vast land, they also knew that there were a people that were inhabiting or living on this land, and yet what they didn't consider was the people, because they wanted the land. And we have seen what degree will people go to take land. What happened to the indigenous people here on this continent? And for anyone to say, again, and I will repeat this, for anyone to say to me, because I'm a Christian, I should, without any question, support Israel, I have to clap back. Clap back. Clap back. It's a clap back is what we call it in modern time, right? Well, I have to refute that and say no. Why I say no? Because I am not going to support anybody, even if it was this country here. I'm not going to support any government that systematically targets a people, be it because of their ethnicity, their nationality, their religion, or race, with the intended purpose of getting rid of that race of people. And you or no one else can convince me that these people, again, have the okay by the God that I serve to say that it's okay to go in and kill people. It's okay to go in and just arbitrarily destroy people's lives. I'm reminded of a Palestinian American who told the story or shared the story that he lost over 20 family members from the bombardment of bombs and missiles being dropped on Gaza. Now, any rational and compassionate human being, I believe, would have to say, wait a minute, there's something wrong here.